geotrig lesson, the trig identity lessons. This will be day 5. This will be our last lesson before we get into a quiz of this nature on basically the first 3 worksheets. So we only have about 3 problems left or examples left, and that will be able to finish off those worksheets. Make sure, guys, that we are working on these. We're not just waiting until the last day. It's getting close now, so if you have to do 3 worksheets before the next day or 2, it's not going to be fun at all. So today, guys, we're going to be basing it off the same information, those same addition and subtraction formulas. Let's go back to those real quick. There they are. Remember, these don't change, but they are interchangeable. That means that the sine of 2 angles added becomes a sine, cosine, cosine, sine with the addition sign. When they're subtracted, they're with the subtraction sign. Cosine switches the signs, but the order is also different because it's a cosine, cosine, sine, sine. And tangent, because it is a fraction, keeps with a fractional form. You just need to know that it's tangent plus a tangent, 1 minus tangent times tangent. And of course, S's and T's kind of switch around a little bit or stay the same. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that you guys recognize that if I have sine something times cosine something plus cosine something sine something, and those somethings seem to be the same, doesn't that look like one of our expanded forms of sine or cosine addition?
Yes. Sine of 6.
It's the sine addition formula, guys. Because, whoops, I'm hoping you guys recognize that this is the same as sine of s plus t, which equals sine s cosine t plus cosine s sine t. You guys see that the right-hand side of that formula is what we are given? Sine, cosine, cosine, sine. And so s is what? 20. T is 40. So I am going to go from this side and replace it with sine of s plus t, which is equal to the sine of 20 plus 40, which is sine of 60, which equals, we should know this, sine of 60. Square root of 3 over 2. Done. We simplified it. I think it's a lot easier to say square root of 3 divided by 2 than it is to say that whole entire thing on top. Yes? And the thing is, I don't know the sine of 20 or the cosine of 40. That's not something I have committed to memory. But I'm able to switch it to something that is nice. Therefore, I can figure it out. Now, I'm hoping that people remember this cofunction identity on the bottom there. From the very first page of trig identities that I gave you now 4 or 5 days ago in lessons. That was just one of them that said, hey, the cosine of pi over 2 minus u is just the same as sine of u. It's the cofunction. Now remember, pi over 2 is the same thing as 90. Think of this. Cosine of 30 is the same thing as sine of 60. Sine of 45 is the same thing as cosine of 45. It's the complementary angles to each other, right? Prove it. Show, now, one side is equal to the other. What side looks more complicated? Cosine side or the sine side? Cosine side. So therefore, can you expand that? It's a cosine subtraction, which would turn to the addition of the cosine. Remember that? So it becomes cosine pi over 2 cosine u. You guys agree with this?
Yes.
Plus sine pi over 2 sine u. What happens to be the cosine of pi over 2? What's the cosine of pi over 2, guys? 0 times cosine u, because I don't know what that is. What's the sine of pi over 2? Times sine u. 0 times anything is gone. 1 times sine u is equal to? Sine u, which is equal to sine u. Check. So for those ones, you're just verifying that using the formulas correctly, you get the other side. Basically expand, simplify, verify. Any questions? The next problem is verify this identity of 1 plus tangent of x over 1 minus tangent of x equals the tangent of pi over 4 plus x. Now, which side looks more complicated? A lot of people might say that the 1 plus tangent of x over 1 minus tangent of x, because you got a fraction, and that fraction contains tangent, which would also have sines and cosines in it, right? But hopefully you guys also could recognize that the right-hand side, which is a tangent of two angles added, there's a formula for that. So let's start with the right-hand side and expand it to its form. What would that expand to? I know it's going to be a big fraction, right? So it ends up being tangent of pi over 4 plus tangent of x over 1 minus, am I correct? Tangent of pi over 4 tangent of x. Hey, can we just cancel the tangent of x's out? Why not? I got addition and subtraction signs going on. It's not just multiply and divided, so I can't do that. But wait a minute. What's the tangent of pi over 4?
Pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2.
Well, that's for sine and cosine. But tangent sine divided by cosine
Of 1.
are 1. Yeah. So, hopefully everybody recognizes that's 1 plus tangent of x then. But that's 1 minus 1 times tangent of x. And what's 1 times tangent of x? Tangent of x. Oh wait, isn't that the same thing as what I was asking it to solve for? So we end up getting 1 plus tangent of x over 1 minus tangent of x. Check. Done. Now you have enough information. You guys can finish worksheet number 3. So your job is to finish worksheets 1, 2, and 3. Tomorrow we'll review. Wednesday we'll have a quiz on just the Pythagorean identities, the cofunctions, the big 3, little 3 conversion, proving the addition and subtraction formulas.
We just need a